What's up guys, Coach Az back again with another video. Today I wanted to give you a few tips for executing your spinning back kick. Okay, spinning back kick or turning side kick, as I've seen some clubs and disciplines mention it. Think of it as throwing a side kick but throwing it off of a spin into the bag. All right, now when we throw this, the beauty of this technique is it generates unbelievable amounts of power once you learn how to throw it correctly. You can actually throw it with a great amount of speed, and because it's a little unorthodox in terms of it coming off of a spin, you can often catch people off of guard, coming up underneath their guard or coming round a kicking leg. So this is what we're all looking for. We're looking to be light on our feet and generate the ability to bring this back leg round, boom, and strike into that bag. Now that one I was a little bit off of target, so the first tip I'm going to give you is for developing your accuracy with the kick. And this applies to all spinning kicks. It's get your head round first. Okay, so when we think about spinning kicks, we tend to focus on thinking of getting the kick round and then everything else following it. But in reality, the first thing that wants to get there is our viewfinder, which is our head. And then from there, we use the torque that's now tied up through that body, that rotational force, to drive round into that spinning kick. So from here, light on the feet, I'm gonna try and get a little further around now. Boom, and there we land that nice sharp kick into the target. Now, of course, you can throw this kick up to the head, but in my opinion, it's most effective when we're throwing it into the body. This soft part here, just underneath the ribs, you can push the wind out of someone, you can hit them to the liver, you can do an awful lot of damage, okay? The next tip is in the rotation. It's developing that rotational speed. And again, it's all about where we focus our intentions. Think a little less about your foot and getting it round to the target, and think more about rotating your core. So think about your hips, and in particular, think about using your elbows and your shoulders to rotate your trunk, because we need to get this turning in order to generate force round into that kick. So I'm going to turn these arms and I'm going to turn this hip, and really the last thing that I'm initiating is that foot up off the floor into the kick. So from here, twist and turn, boom, round into that target. One more time. From here, twisting, so I'm exaggerating it a little for you here so you see it a bit better. My elbow, my shoulder, my hip. And the last thing I'm thinking about really is bringing that leg round into the target, okay? So we've gone over two things there. We've talked about the accuracy and getting the head round. We've talked about developing the speed and therefore the power by focusing on rotating the hip and the arms, the shoulders round into the target, okay? The last thing is, think about the different distances that you can work this kick from and the different directions. So we always want to think of techniques as more than just a static technique. You'll find if you just practice this kick as a static technique, it becomes then really difficult to land it. So as always, with everything we want to practice examples of it moving forward. So start at a range where you're out of range of your opponent or your bag. So from here on the spot, I'd miss the kick. So I need to drive it forward. So I need to kind of come in to the kick as I'm firing the technique. From there, I'm pushing my body forward through the motion, in and shooting that kick. I've spoken in a previous video about the springboard method and the idea of springing off the floor. I spring in and then shoot my technique. From here, spring and then shoot my technique up into the bag. The same thing can be done in reverse to work this as more of a countering technique. So I can start a little bit closer to my target and practice pulling back to create space and then shooting the kick into the bag. So from here, pulling back and then coming round to fire that kick, as well as jumping back. So putting it all in one motion. As I jump back, boom, round and in, so it's a much tighter motion into that spinning back kick. So guys, I hope those tips are helpful. Take them away, practice that spinning back kick, and you'll have a devastating technique to attack your opponents with. And I'll see you on the next one.